Okay, are we live?
Yes, we're a lot. Man, you beat me
Oh
to it.
my god.
Literally seconds away, and you beat me to it.
I'm not even looking at it, so that's really just my intuition, you know,
It,
pulling
I
pulling
I
rank there.
counted down. It's not that hard to count from 5 to 1. Anyway, hi.
Hi. This is a podcast that we run. My name is
Mm-hmm.
Alex,
And I'm Bryn.
and this is Politely Parasocial. And I guess this has become a movie review podcast because every single week I'm like, let me talk about the movies that I've watched.
Somebody just has to keep going to see new movies, or old movies in this case.
Yeah, so for those of you who are watching from my YouTube channel, you already probably know that I'm a big Avatar fan, and guess what? A new Avatar movie came out last week. I would cheer, but I was largely disappointed with it.
I I haven't seen it yet. I still haven't seen the second Avatar movie. But
Which is so
uh
shameful as my friend. How could you?
I know, but I don't see any movies really. I see nothing. I don't do things. Anyway, it was, in your words, mid.
Yeah, okay, so upon further thinking, and this is not a spoiler free I guess well wait. I guess Brandon, do you want me to be spoiler free in this?
I don't care.
Okay. Because this is not a. I'm definitely, as a person, not a spoiler safe person. Any of my friends, Bryn or otherwise, will attest to that. They'll be like, "I can't talk to Alex about fucking anything. It'll be ruined for me." So, um, I I really like the first 2 movies. I still stand by that. I think the first 2 movies are excellent pieces of cinema, and I'm not gonna argue that. Here's my thing. It's not a bad movie. Avatar: Fire and Ash, it's not a bad movie. I do feel like nothing happens. Um,
Okay.
I've never seen Last of the Mohicans, but apparently it is very similar to that in that there's a lot of running,
Isn't that a book?
away. It's also a movie.
Oh,
Um, there's a lot of running away, and not a lot going on other than a lot of running away. So
hmm.
at, like, several points in the movie, they are running away from different people at different it's all different people, like, at least they're running from different people, but they're all running from running. I at least 2/3 of the movie is them going, um, "Hurry up, keep up with me, stay on me." Any other kind of word you can think of that would be related to running away as a group of people. There's just not a lot of dialogue, and the scenes that do have dialogue are, I think, probably some of my favorite scenes in the film, but they they just don't compensate for the fact that not a lot is going on. And then because it's, the what Cameron does, and he did this in the second movie as well, is he'll reuse shots from the first movie, and in this case, since it's the third movie, also the second movie. And so if you're like me and you've watched the movies a lot, it's really obvious which footage is being reused because I've seen the first and second movie like
How
at
is it
least
being
8
reused?
times.
Like literally just like cut and paste, or
It'll sometimes have different lighting, but it will be the exact same shot frame for frame, like motion wise. So there's like a scene where Jake's on the truck and it like bites and grabs something and he pulls and like yanks on the I don't want to say reins because they're not reins. The like swing, like the crew, like the the
you're using words
the
that nobody
brain,
knows.
the brain tail things
The
that are connected to
brainstem
their
thing,
heads.
yes.
Yeah. Um yeah, I pulled out some Navi in there, but
Of course you
he'll
did,
like
it's you.
yank on it and like is like directing the big dragon that he's riding. And that scene is exactly the same. There's also another scene. There's scenes of the Tolkien, which are like the space whales, the big whales, that are exactly the same frame for frame. Um, and I think this is probably less of an issue if you are like a casual moviegoer who maybe saw the movie once. You're like, wow, that's still a cool shot because you don't remember that it's the exact same shot from 2 years ago, or in the case of the first movie, 15 years ago, right? But
Hmm.
if you're me and you've seen the movies 100 million times, you're like, that is exactly the same frame.
Okay.
Um, and so it's like it loses a little bit of originality because you're like, "Okay, well," and not to say that any of the Avatar movies have some kinda crazy original plot, but the plot is never really what I was in it for. I mean, I feel like everybody's in it to see the cool, stunning visuals, and it's like, "Okay, but you're not even giving us new, cool, stunning
Yeah.
visuals at this point."
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like and this is typical for, like, a lot of the Avatar movies, and it's a major criticism that people have of all 3, but I feel like in this one in particular, we got even less character development. So a lot of the criticism is that James Cameron has this amazing world building and then he spends almost no time talking about it, or he creates really interesting characters that have really interesting problems and like backstories, but then he doesn't really ever talk about it in the movie.
Mhm.
And so he does that a lot in the first two, but in those, it's kind of passable because that's not really well, it's, like, sprinkled in enough that you're like, "Oh, okay, this is relevant," but it's not, like, this part of the story. But since this 3rd one doesn't really have anything happening other than them running away, it feels really upsetting the degree to which we just never talk about the characters. Like, the characters never talk about what's going on with them. There's, like, a whole
Oh.
scene in the movie where, um, Jake, like, is blaming Loak, his son. If you've not seen the movie, Jake is the main character. Loak is his son for the death of their other child that happened in the 2nd movie. And it's a
Oh.
really
Oh
what
no.
yeah. Yeah, it's what should be a really emotional moment between the 2 of them because then Loak runs off and almost kills himself. Like, it should be this, like, absolutely devastating, tears streaming down your face kind of emotional moment.
Mhm.
But the problem is that the rest of the movie has been flip-flopping back and forth between, like, 5 other different characters' stories throughout the entire thing that it doesn't land because we haven't seen them in, like, 20 minutes.
Okay. That's
Like
weird.
yeah, and so what I was talking to my friends and parents about, and when I was giving my, like, final review of the movie is that the whole thing feels like a montage that they just really kind of, like, clipped together with a lot of different cuts
Mhm.
because it doesn't spend any time it doesn't spend enough time on any single relationship to it for it to develop meaningfully. And it has the foundations of all the meaningful relationships there, and it even has some of the development of the conversations in the moments where there are dialogue, but none of it is long enough that it feels good or it feels satisfying or it even feels
Okay.
emotional because it's just so fast. And I said the other thing is that the entire movie feels like it's also running, like the pacing. It just never breathes. Like I feel like movies need to have some slow moments occasionally where you stop
Yeah.
and you look at what's going on around and there's a character talking and you're kind of listening to them but there's not everything's not happening all the time, right?
Mhm.
You kind of need to have a lull in the pacing so that both the characters and the audience can go okay, now what, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that movie just never has it. Never. The entire 3-hour runtime of it. I'm like, everything is happening all the time. And I
Mhm.
think what's interesting is a lot of the reviews are coming back and people are saying that this is their favorite Avatar movie. This is the best Avatar movie that they've seen and blah 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 blah. And I genuinely do think it is the weakest of the 3. But I think that the reason people
Interesting.
like it so much is because no one has an attention span anymore, and it really
Oh
caters well to
no.
that.
Oh
Um,
yikes.
yeah. So, I felt like it didn't I feel like it was a complete ending, and if they didn't make another movie, that would be fine.
Mhm.
Everyone's, like, character arc, I feel like, was wrapped up to the degree that it could be in a 3rd, you know, movie,
Mhm.
but I also don't feel like it really added that much to anything that was already there, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
I really wish that they had so they've been, like I'm sure you've seen the posters and the ads for it and stuff, but
Mhm.
Varang, who's, like, the fire lady that everyone was super hyped about, I was like, "Yes, cool, we're gonna get backstory," and she literally has a 10-minute scene with Quaritch, the main villain, where she tells and doesn't show what happens to her, and so it's like, "Oh gosh."
Oh. Oh wow.
Mhm.
That that sounds pretty rough.
Yeah, it
I
was a very
I
interesting
can't
movie-going
I feel like
experience.
I can't really comment much because I just haven't seen it, but that doesn't sound like the way you should do that.
No, and if you've seen the trailer, like, pretty much all of the impactful moments of Varang are in the trailer, which is crazy because it's a 3-hour movie. I'm like, "Where is
That's
she?"
that feels like you did something wrong.
Yeah, and look, I'm not gonna slander James Cameron because I love that man. I do think that the first 2 Avatar movies are perfect cinema, but well, the first one is perfect cinema. The second one is almost perfect cinema, but this really just didn't. I don't know. I feel like a crazy here's my real beef with the whole thing. And it's not even the quality of the film because honestly, it's still top tier, like blockbuster movie in comparison to everything else that I've seen this year. Um, like it's better than every superhero movie that came out. Um, it's enjoyable to watch even though I didn't love it, right? I wouldn't say that it was boring at any point. It was visually beautiful even though I thought it was repetitive, but I still think it was still a very pretty movie, right?
Mhm.
Um, it had great sound, had great like the action was good. It wasn't all of my critiques I think come from a place of me being a mega fan of the series and the universe, not
Mhm.
necessarily from me. I think objectively, it's a pretty good. I would say it's a solid 8.5 out of 10 movie, which is pretty great since I would say that
Yeah.
most every other major blockbuster I saw this year was like maybe a 7, maybe. That's being generous. I thought Fantastic Four was terrible.
You thought
Um,
it was terrible?
I almost left. I was so bored
God
halfway through it.
damn.
Yeah. But I've also been on the downtrend of Marvel movies for a really long time. I just
Oh,
genuinely
sure,
don't
who
think
hasn't? But like
yeah, I just think they're retreading the same thing over and over again.
that is what the entire franchise is going to be. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
but the
like
first, like,
they had decades
couple
of
weren't like
comic books of stories and stuff, and now they're just turning them all into movies. So it's not like they're doing anything original. It's just movies of comic books that most audiences haven't read.
that. But the other thing about Marvel movies that irritates me is that every Marvel movie has become like homework. I have to have seen the previous, like, 4
Oh
movies to
yeah,
know what's going
sure.
on in one of
Like
them, and I'm like, "I
this is an
can't do
old
that." Like, I
complaint.
don't have time for that. Yeah, like,
This is
I
like
I mean,
a
that's a whole
known
separate
thing about
issue.
Marvel movies at this point, I think.
So, like, I saw Superman, and I would say Superman was really good. I actually think that
Oh, thank
Superman had
fuck.
more compelling dialogue than Avatar, but I think that Superman was less entertaining than Avatar.
Superman
I would
is
put them probably on
okay,
par.
again, I haven't seen Avatar yet. Superman I really liked Superman. Superman was really good.
I really feel like the narrative, like, the themes of Superman were really compelling, which is usually how I feel about Avatar. Usually, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, the themes, like environmentalism and anti-colonialism, right, is really compelling." I didn't feel
Mhm.
that in this one, but I felt like it was a more entertaining movie to watch than Superman because there was definitely parts of Superman where I was like partially this is me just hating the actress who plays Lois Lane, but where I was like,
I don't even
"Mm,
remember. I don't know
you are annoying."
actors.
She's, like, the main actress in The Marvelous Miss Maisel, and I feel like she was really good in that, but I fear she may have just been playing herself, because her, like, acting was exactly the same as Lois Lane, and while I don't dislike her as an actress, I don't feel like she was the correct fit for that role because I've seen a lot of Superman movies, I grew up watching them, and I grew up watching the
Hmm.
Justice League cartoons, so I'm very familiar with Superman and the DC universe as a concept, um,
I genuinely am
but
shocked I didn't know this about you.
yeah, but, I just never felt like Lois Lane was that annoying, before, so I felt like she was really bitchy for what I would say was no reason, especially since her boyfriend is, like, the ultimate goody two-shoes that there ever was. Like, dude, if you can't criticize Superman for being not a good person, like, you just and that's what she was doing a lot of time in the movie, it felt like to me, and I didn't enjoy that
That's what that
element of
felt
it.
like to you?
She was railing on him in that interview scene.
I mean,
Like, it was almost hard to watch, because it was like, "This is
he
so unnecessary,
really
she's
was
not making her point, and
he
she's being a bitch."
he wasn't like considering the implications of what he was doing.
No, and I get that what they were trying to do with that scene, but it didn't feel like a I don't know, it just maybe it's like a little PTSD thing for me where it reminded me too much of, like, my parents arguing or something, but I was like, "This is not." This is giving me secondhand embarrassment, and it is unnecessary.
Okay,
Um,
I feel like that's a completely different problem than the character.
but also she continued to be kind of irritating throughout the movie, and it's been like several months since I've seen it, so I couldn't.
Same.
At the time, I think I had more concrete, like specific evidence. But anyways, back to what I was saying about Avatar. I got completely
Yeah.
derailed with my discussion of Superman. The point that I'm making is I have been an Avatar fan since 2009 when I was 9 years old and my dad took me to see the movie for my birthday in IMAX 3D. I have vivid memories of that and I have loved it ever since then. And then
Mhm.
when I went to Pandora Mora Valley at Disney World, I was rekindled into that and I was older, so it was a little bit more impactful. But I mean, I've owned the DVD of it with the extended edition and special features and everything that came out in 2010. Like
Mhm.
I have been big on this bandwagon my whole pretty much my whole life. Now we are now going on 15 years, right, of me being mega fan of this
Jesus
series.
Christ.
I got so much shit for 15 years
Oh, sure.
for liking those movies. I got shit from people in real life when I would go to conventions and cosplay for it. I got shit from people online. Obviously, I got shit from people that I was friends with and didn't even know. I would be like, "Oh, well, I like Avatar," and they'd be like, "That's a lame movie." Like people who
Mhm.
were not even in conventions, just people in like my college classes. And now that James Cameron has made a TikTok user-friendly version of the movie, aka good for people with an attention span shorter than 10 seconds, everybody loves it. Like
That's
I
wild.
feel a little bit yeah, I feel a little bit slighted because the second movie got so much flack too. Not that it didn't perform exceptionally well, but got so much flack. They were like, "This didn't work, and this didn't work, and why did he have to make space whales?" and blah 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 blah. And I was like, the entire time sitting there, like, I loved it. I thought it was fun. I think it's really cool that there's space whales. Like, why is
Mhm.
everyone ragging on this? It's just a fun movie about maybe we shouldn't kill our planet. I feel like that's not a crazy take.
I also
And I
feel
would
like
say that it
ever
was
since the first movie, it's been popular to hate on Avatar, whether you've seen it or not.
yeah, I mean, that's definitely like a subsection of the internet, but it was hugely popular when the second one came out for people to hate on the first one for things that it did like literally almost 20 years ago at that point.
Mhm.
And I I was like, yeah, it was pretty colonial, but also if you look at the stuff that was coming out at that time, or not colonial, it was like
Also, not 20 years. Not definitely not 20 years.
15.
It still hasn't been 20 years.
Yeah, it was closer to 15. It came out 13 years apart, so 15 years would be more accurate if we're
Mhm.
rounding. But they were like, "It's a retelling of Pocahontas," and blah, 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 and all the same criticisms that it would get all the time,
Mhm.
which is a fine criticism to have, but that doesn't inherently make it a bad movie. Like,
Mhm.
you don't have to like the plot, that doesn't make it a bad film, and people are like, "It's racist," and I'm like, "They're not real." Like,
Mhm.
I understand the sentiment behind that statement, because they do represent real problems that real people face, right?
Yeah.
And so I understand the frustration behind like what is essentially a white savior narrative to some
Mhm.
degree, right? But we also have to recognize that much like Star Wars, they are not real. Like no one is having the same discussion about how racist Star Wars is, even though it is equally as racist. Um you should rewatch the prequels, like, everyone who's listening, I promise you, you will find some stuff that is deeply disturbing in the way that all of the aliens are people of color and played by people of color, and yet there's only one person of color who's actually a human in the movie, and it's Mace Windu. It's quite
Hmm.
unnerving, like, to go back and look at it. But my point is that in those early 2000 sci-fi movies, racism is kind of just there, whether it's intentional or not. Um, and so for you to be like, "Well, it's racist." I'm like, "Yes, it is a product of its time. it's also hugely revolutionary in that it was the first movie that ever really confronted environmentalism in a major blockbuster kind of way that was like, "Hey, we shouldn't, burn down forests." So I feel
Yeah.
like that, like take it with a grain of salt, like it's still a good movie. Um but anyways, everyone shit on me for literally 15 years for liking it, and now I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, I like it." And they're like, or I don't like this new one near as much. And they're like, "What do you mean? You're like a mega Avatar fan. Why don't you like it?" And I'm like, "Because I don't have TikTok brain rot, I guess. I don't know. I just felt like if you watch the first two, you've already seen it."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, guys. Um So yeah, but in other news on things that people hate, the Minecraft movie. Why did everyone hate the Minecraft movie? I watched the Minecraft movie last night. I did not have the experience of seeing it in theaters because it came out when I was in Japan. Um, and I didn't
Oh
want to see it dubbed
yeah.
in Japanese. Yeah, I didn't feel like that would be a very
No, yeah,
fun
that's.
experience.
I wonder what Japanese chicken jockey would have sounded like.
Torijaki. I think that the word jockey is
I
the same.
feel like the energy would have been different.
Maybe. I also there are I must
I also
acknowledge,
now I'm curious what a Japanese Jack Black would sound like.
as someone who has not played Minecraft since God, 2015?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, you haven't played Minecraft since like you were too motion sick to game. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is this
Well,
another thing
Minecraft
we're
is one
gonna
of the
have
things
to
that
add to your like video game education
no, I
list?
cannot play Minecraft anymore, fun fact, because I played it so much that I gave myself a, like, terrible, terrible headache, and every time I open it and try to play it now, I literally get, like, maybe 10 minutes in before I'm like, "I'm gonna throw up and die."
Huh.
It, like, there's yeah, I triggered some kind of, like, immune response. I don't know.
Interesting.
Um, because I used to play it a lot when I was in middle school, right? As we all
Hmm.
did. Um, and I I loved it, but it's so funny to me because I was playing Minecraft, 1, before gaming YouTube was really a big thing, because gaming YouTube didn't really pop off until, like, 2016, 2017. Um, and 2, before, like, any of the Minecraft YouTubers became popular, period, regardless of whether YouTube gaming was popular, like, Minecraft gaming was not really, like, a thing that people did when I was playing, and I played before they had bees. So there was quite a few things in that movie where I was
Bees
like,
is your new thing? Bees is why bees?
I don't
Do
know, they
you
were just
not
a
remember
really big part
earlier
of the movie.
updates? God. Bees of all
Well,
things.
they were just so, like, in your face in the movie, I guess, for when it was in 3D, I don't know, like, there were
Oh,
so
you
many
saw
times
it
where bees were
3D?
flying around. They did release it in 3D here.
You watched it
Um,
in 3D?
no, but there were so many scenes where bees would, like, fly up and get really close to the camera, and I was like, "Why is this necessary?" And then I was like, "Oh, it must be for the 3D release."
Oh. Hmm.
Because there's a lot of really awkward sometimes scenery where, like, things are, like, doing weird stuff that I feel like is unnecessarily close to the camera, and then I'm like, "Oh, wait, this must be for the 3D." Um, but anyways, the bees thing stuck out to me because they were in a lot of scenes, and I was like, "I don't remember bees being in Minecraft," and then I was like, I remember when they announced the update that they were going to put bees in Minecraft, but it was after I stopped playing. And there was also, like, I know references to, like, the pig in the crown, who I'm about to get so put on blast for because I do not know the name of it, is, like, a very popular Minecraft YouTuber who I do not know.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
Um,
mean, I think it's partially because he was so popular and he passed away pretty young. So,
um, and the chicken jockey thing, which also I did not like, I don't know anything about that at all.
I don't really
Um,
get it. I think it's just I don't know, it makes about as much sense to me as 6-7 does. It's just random shit that kids latched onto. Is Jack Black saying a silly thing in a silly voice?
but I liked it. I thought it was very funny. It kind of reminded me of it feels like it has audience participation in it in the way that Rocky Horror Picture Show does, and that it's got, like, quotable lines and memorable scenes, and I didn't think it was boring. I felt like the pacing was really good. I
I
liked
don't
the
think it was
animation. I
boring.
thought
Is that a complaint
that
of it? I thought people just hated it because it wasn't the Minecraft they knew and loved.
Oh, no, I know that parents were hating on it because they kept falling asleep. But,
It's a
is
kids
that really
movie.
surprising?
The parents have
Yeah.
why would the parents be interested in it?
I don't know, my mom sleeps through everything that's animated, even though that's not really animated. I is How do we qualify the Minecraft movie? Is it animated? Is it real? Who's to say? It's
I
kind of
mean,
got, like, an Enchanted-esque like, it's half animated, half not.
Enchanted is your first Enchanted is your first pull for that, and not Space Jam.
I watched Enchanted as a child, I didn't watch Space Jam until, like, 4 years ago.
4 years ago? What the fuck is wrong with you? You
I have
are
a very
a
interesting
bizarre
interaction with
creature.
movies. So are you. You can't
I'm
talk.
me? Everybody knows Space Jam.
I knew of Space Jam, but I didn't like, my parents didn't introduce it to me when I was a kid because they didn't like it, so how was I supposed to, like, find it? I'm an only child, I have no means of
You
being
you
introduced
are
to
an
things other than my
individual. You could have
parents.
watched Space Jam at any point in your life, but not until 4 years ago?
I didn't have okay, I like to watch things like that with other people because I understand that there's cultural relevance that I might be missing out on because I didn't watch it as a child.
You're weird.
Anyways, I liked the Minecraft movie.
Yeah,
I would
Minecraft
like
movie
to
is
see
good.
another Minecraft movie. I
I
would watch
mean,
a
you know
sequel
they're
of
gonna
that.
make one, so
I give it a solid 9 out of 10, maybe even a
interesting.
9.5 out of 10. I thought it was funny. My only criticism is that I wish that there had been more Endermen in it.
I mean, I think the whole Piglin thing is the main focus, and if getting into the end is a whole deal. And I also think it's generally more serious slash like vaguely scary, and by scary I mean in terms of a kids movie, than they would want to go into.
I think for the sequel, they should have them go into the end and they should fight the Ender Dragon. That's my pitch to Warner Brothers when they make Minecraft 2. There's your plot.
You know it's probably already like half made, right?
I don't care. They redid the entire Sonic movie. They can take my feedback.
I feel like it was easier to redo the Sonic movie because it's just a CGI guy and not like, the plot of the movie.
Can we talk about how I have seen the first Sonic movie, but none of the others? But my friend, when I was in Japan, went to go see Sonic 3 with his friends from the US who flew to visit him in Japan, but they chose to spend their time in Japan going to see Sonic 3.
Okay, what do
They
you
were
want to
there
talk
for
about
a week
it?
and a half. I just can't fathom flying on a 15-hour flight and then being like, "You know what I wanna do?" At the end of my day in a foreign country where I have paid a metric shit ton of money to be here and I'm staying in probably a very expensive hotel. I'm gonna go see Sonic 3.
Okay, but
Like,
Sonic
it
3
just seems like a
fucks.
weird I know, like, I'm sure it does. It looked amazing, and I still wanna watch it, but it just seems like such a weird train of thought to me.
Nah, dude. I would have dropped
Okay, so when you
anything to
come
watch
visit me
Sonic
in
3.
Japan, we're gonna go see inevitably the 4th Sonic movie.
Fuck yeah.
No, I was sad that I didn't see it when I was over there because it was one of the few that they didn't, release a whole bunch of dub showings of,
Oh
and I
no.
was like, "Hell yeah, I would love to see Sonic 3 with Japanese subtitles in English, that'd be great." It it never actualized, but someday, because I love Jim Carrey and I love him as Dr. Robotnik, it is by far one of the best, like, video game movie adaptations ever.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
I
gonna
think
watch the next 2 because I'm missing out.
hell yeah.
Our entire podcast is just gonna become us, analyzing video game
I
movies.
was gonna say is our podcast turning into like a movie podcast? Because it really feels like
This
it
is
at this point.
this is hilarious because you don't see movies.
Yeah.
I just have no life right now, so this is what happens when you go home and live with your parents and you don't do anything. The only thing I do is go to the movies because I have the AMC Stubs A-list, which by the way, A-list sponsor me. But A-list wanna spawn the pod. But I literally don't do anything else. Like I sit around in my room, I read gay fan fiction, I do work, and then I go see a movie. What else am I supposed to talk about?
I've been trying to get you to game with me, but no.
I
Somebody
did
possibly got
oh
a
my god,
life-threatening illness.
we didn't even talk about the fact that I got a letter that
Okay,
says that I could have
I wasn't gonna bring
tuberculosis.
it up because it's like your personal potential medical history. Like,
Oh no, I don't give a shit. I got
okay.
for in an interesting I should have cold opened with this. This would have been way funnier. This should be the title TB, the Dark Ages. I woke up to an email on Friday
Tuberculosis wasn't the
after
Dark Ages.
no, it was Victorian England. The consumption. Um,
And
but
also cowboy
I'm sure
times.
people also had I'm sure people also had tuberculosis during the Dark Ages.
That's
It's
what
been
killed
around
Arthur
forever.
Morgan, wasn't it? Red Dead Redemption 2, cowboy times.
I don't know
Cowboy
anything about Red Dead
times.
Redemption. Cowboy times. Um, I know that it's like the thing that people will like go sit on the beach for because they're like wasting away and coughing up blood.
Yeah,
Anyways,
supposed to be better air.
the story is that I took a nap on Friday afternoon because I was like, "Ugh," as I just said, I don't have anything to do. And I woke up to my nap, and you know when you wake up from a nap and you're like, your eyes are glued shut and you're like you feel like you like lost a year. It was one of
Yeah.
those kinds of things. I woke up and I'm like, a secure message from the doctor's office at my school. And I open it and I'm still kind of not awake yet. And I'm clicking through and I'm typing all these like multi-factor authentication things in and I open it and it says warning or urgent. Not warning. Same difference. Urgent. There is no cause for alarm at this time. And I'm like, okay, but it says
That is
urgent.
immediate cause for alarm.
Right. Okay. And then it says, you have been exposed to someone with active TB. And then in parentheses, tuberculosis. I'm like, yeah, I could have figured that out.
Fucking
Um,
insane, dude.
And then it says, we estimate your exposure time to be about 2 minutes. How do you fucking know? That's what I'm curious about. Like, how do these people know that it was 2 minutes of exposure? How are they keeping track of this? Like, and the worst part about this is to say you have 2 minutes of exposure, but they didn't tell me when that exposure was. Like, if it was 2 weeks ago, if it was yesterday, like what? It couldn't have been yesterday, but if it was last week or 3 weeks ago or like whatever, they don't tell me
Absolutely
when the
insane.
exposure was. They just tell me that it was for 2 minutes. And I'm like, that doesn't help because if I had some kind of symptoms, which I did, I'm pretty sure I had a cold. Um, I don't think I have TB, but I had some kind of cold and I was coughing a lot. And I was like, well, could you tell me when I was exposed to the TB and just not for how long? Because if this is tuberculosis, I would like to, mask and not kill my parents. It's a pretty major disease. Um, and they just didn't tell me. And so I go in on Saturday to go because I'm an idiot and I didn't read the email all the way through. I go in to go get the blood test to check to make sure I don't have tuberculosis, and they're closed. Because they're
Oh
not open on the
joy.
weekends and I'm stupid. And so then I have to drive all the way
I mean,
back.
to be
It's a
fair, I
2-hour
think you were
drive.
reasonably concerned and urgent. Urgent, warning, whatever.
Right.
You were
Um,
acting as quickly as possible.
well, and also, like, if I do have it and I need to get treated for it, it can take 9 months, and I was like, "I'd rather not wait until it develops into, like, me coughing up blood on the side of the road or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Though
I
that
don't
would
think I
make
have
for
it
a
because I
good
did some more.
story.
It would, but also I have so many other things wrong with me. Let's not add tuberculosis to that list. But anyways, I was like, "Oh crap, I gotta go do this," and so I they were closed, and then it's a 2-hour drive because where I went to school is not where I currently live, and so I was like, "Okay, crap." I drove back, and then I had to drive back again on Monday, and fun fact about me that you may not know, and that our listeners certainly don't know, is that I have maybe the least drawable blood ever, which is that one, it's really thick and viscous. even when I drink a lot of water and I'm very hydrated. It's like just very goopy. Um, two, or I guess there's three things. Two, my veins roll, so you can't stick me. Um, they like just roll all over the place. And three, my veins disappear. Not literally, but they like hide, as the like nurse people will say, which means that
Okay.
like if the needle is in my skin and it's not in the vein will like sink deeper into my arm. I don't know how it does this. I don't know the science behind this. It is a thing that happens though. And so every time I go to get blood drawn, an IV, anything like that, they will stick me at least twice. Sometimes
Yikes.
4 times. And usually they will spend about 2 to 3 minutes digging around in my arm with the needle. And I told this woman, as I sit down in this chair, I'm like, "I tried really hard. I drank 3 bottles of water and a smoothie for breakfast so that I'm, like, ultra hydrated." And I said, "But I am and I'm a redhead, so I faint all the time. I said, "But I'm notoriously hard to stick." I was like, "You will not get it on the first try." I said, "It's probably better if you do it in the top of my hand." And she's like, "Oh, I don't wanna have to do that to you, it hurts." And I'm like, Yes, but it won't hurt as much if you do it once as it will if you stick me 3 other times in the crease of my arm and then root around in there trying to find the vein. I promise you that once in the top of my hand doesn't hurt as bad as 3 times in my elbow. The woman doesn't listen to me. She sticks me in my elbow. She spends 2 minutes rooting around in my arm because she can't find it. She's, like, tapping me, flicking my arm. She's got the, like, rubber band thing, that they, like, put on you so that all your veins pop out, like, ultra tight. I can't feel my fingers. Like, it's so tight. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm like, finally, after, like, 2 minutes of her doing this, and keep in mind, this hurts like a motherfucker, right? Um, she's not being gentle with me. I'm like, finally I go, "Ow." Like, just because 'cause I'm like, "Can you stop?" Right? Like, it didn't actually hurt that bad. I mean, not any more than I was already used to since she'd been doing it for 2 minutes or whatever, but I was like, "Can
Mhm.
you please, like, this is clearly not working." Um, and then she's like, "Okay." She gets a new needle because she done fucked up and does it again in the corner of my arm.
God damn.
And I'm like, in a different spot. And I'm like, "Okay." She still doesn't get it. She's like, "Your vein is gone." And I'm like, "Yes, I know. I have done this before." And then she spends another 2 minutes rooting around in my arm. She does eventually get the the
I
vein,
would hope so.
on the second stick, but it's like,
So,
at this point, I was like, "Just top of my hand, people. Like, why don't you listen to me? I've had at least 2 major surgeries where they had to put me under anesthesia, and they tried to do it in the crease of my arm, and then I woke up from the anesthesia with it in the top of my hand. Like,
god
it
damn.
clearly doesn't work there."
At what point should I warn you that I think we're only making content for vampires right now?
Ah, yes. How do I get Edward Cullen on my podcast?
Ew. Ew. Ew.
Actually, no. No, no, no. What's the guy from Interview with the Vampire? The blonde one.
Yeah, maybe
Fuck, what's
not
his name?
like an eternal high schooler.
No, this one's not a high schooler. This one, the one from Interview with the Vampire, what is his name?
No,
It's
that's
not
what I'm
Louis,
saying.
it's the
Maybe
other
not
one.
Edward Cullen.
Fuck. I cannot believe I don't remember his name. I'm gonna have to look this up. This
I
is
would love to
devastating to
help you,
me.
but I only like tangentially know what you're talking about.
What is his name? Lestat. That's who it is. Lestat.
So we are now only making content for vampires about vampires. Was your intent to double down on that,
Yes.
or?
I like vampires. What's wrong with a good vampire? I haven't seen Sinners yet either, speaking of more movies.
All right,
Gonna
so how are we? I guess this has turned into a business meeting. So I wasn't expecting a rebrand for a movie podcast about vampires for vampires. Um,
What are we gonna call it?
as a
Um
very infrequent movie watcher and non-vampire, I'm not sure how good of a host I'm going to be.
No, next week we can bring it back around to video games, I promise. I've actually cleaned my room to the point where I am almost able to play video games in it again. I just had to make some content in light of the mediocre Avatar movie.
Fair enough. And hmm, I don't think I left enough space between my voice being included in that clip that everybody's going to like absolutely like nuclear roast you for. But it's fine. Nobody listens to me. I'm just the background noise. You're the content.
That's only because that's only because you don't talk. If you talked more, you'd be
You're the
content.
one with opinions. I haven't even seen the damn movie.
And how and whose fault is that?
Fucking come over here and make me watch the damn movie then.
I don't wanna go to where you live.
I don't want to be here either.
I almost like doxed you here and I was like, wait, no, not the real name.
The name of the massive ass state.
Oh, I was gonna say the city, but then I caught
The
myself.
massive ass city.
You know,
Like you're
let's
going to
keep our
dox me by
locations
saying,
private.
okay, sure. As if you're one to talk about doxing people on this show. Our first
I
fucking
caught
episode,
myself.
our first goddamn episode was like, I want to be careful about doxing people. Government names this person 3 times.
Thank God I don't talk to that person anymore.
Well, this sure has been a show. Um, I we really do need to come up with something other than a movie to talk about for once.
Yeah, well,
We'll
I
get there
thought that it would be an
someday.
appropriate segue since, we talked about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie to talk about the Minecraft movie, but then I just got really mad about Avatar.
You really did. You really did.
I have a lot of thoughts. I like to think I have a lot of thoughts all the time, but sometimes it's really just about the 10 things that fill my brain.
And 9 of them are Avatar.
No, at least 3 of them right now are Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh my god.
2 are, Haikyuu because they announced a new Haikyuu movie.
They did?
Yes! Not till 2027. I can't get too
Eh.
excited, it's almost 2 years away. I must contain my joy. They also announced the Yuri on Ice movie and then never released it, so I gotta tread carefully.
Yeah. I have nothing to say. I don't watch movies. I don't watch things. I just watch YouTube and play video games. I don't do shit. I have so little to say. You picked a hell of a
You have to come
co-host.
up you have to come up with a video game review. Every week that I have a movie review, you have to
Review.
come up with a video game review.
Look,
Ha.
man. I hmm, I don't have video game opinions. I just have shit that I like.
Yeah. I mean, talk about it. That's what this is. What else is a podcast if not talking about the things that you like or don't like?
I guess. I guess that's fair. Look, my current quest is to get you to actually like attempt to play Fortnite since you shockingly brought it up. Um,
Look, the minute that I actually can walk through my apartment again, I will do. I literally have so much hair on the floor right now. I finally
ew.
got one of the pieces of it's a wig, but I finally got one of them off of the
Jesus
floor.
Christ, that's some important context, bestie. I just have so much hair on my floor.
Yeah, I shaved my head. Actually, no, I did. I've just been walking
I wouldn't
around
be
with the
that surprised.
remnants of scalps on my floor.
I think we've lost our vampire audience too. Why are we here?
Now we're in zombie territory.
Zombies don't eat hair.
No, but they do like rip like this is maybe too specific, but I know there's a scene in The Walking Dead where like one of them like grabs the top of the zombie's head and it like rips their hair off.
That's something done to a zombie. Why would a zombie watch that? That's like violence against zombies.
All things with zombies is violence against zombies.
But
Is there ever actually is there a zombie movie? Is like Warm Bodies like the only zombie movie where the zombies don't have like violence against zombies in
I
it?
don't know what Warm Bodies is.
Isn't it like the romance between like a zombie and a person? They were trying to Twilightify it,
I
but it
have
doesn't work
no
because it's a
idea.
zombie.
No idea. You're the one making this into a media podcast. I'm not the one to ask.
Well, in other news, the day after tomorrow is Christmas.
Oh god. You It sure
And
is. It
all
sure is
I'm
the
gonna
day.
say on that is I hope everybody who celebrates has a wonderful time and
Yeah,
takes good
it
care of
holiday
themselves.
time. Have good holiday.
And you get to eat lots of good food and sleep a lot
It's
and
also
get some.
miserable for a lot of people, so hopefully it's not as not miserable as possible.
Yes, if you hate your family, I'm so sorry. I wish you the best of luck. If you have no family and you're feeling really alone, I hope that you find someone or something that brings you joy in this time. Um, and just know that not everyone likes to spend, the holidays with their family. So like there's a diverse series of opinions. I am looking forward to it because I don't have to work and maybe free stuff. I do like free stuff. And I like food. I do like Christmas food. Contrary to our Thanksgiving episode, I do like Christmas food. So, I am looking
What's the
forward to ham.
difference?
I like ham. Also, my mom makes this thing
It's
called cheesy
just
potatoes
ham? Your difference is just ham? That
and cheesy potatoes and sugar cookies and cinnamon rolls, all of which are better than Thanksgiving food.
I need to end the episode before I yell at you too much about ham.
I like ham.
What
I
are
am
you, a
Ponyo.
dog?
No, I'm
Okay, fucking
Ponyo.
Heathcliff the cat. Put on your ham helmet and end the episode.
Okay, if you liked this episode, give us a thumbs up. If you want to hear more of us yapping, hopefully about something other than movies, go ahead and subscribe to my channel or follow us on Twitch. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and
We love
yeah,
a visit from
that's
the
it.
garbage air. You're
Have
fucking
a good
Heathcliff
one.
the cat. Ham? Ham is what you're. Okay. Mm. I
Bye.
Listeners, you need to know that I'm going to yell at them about this after we're done with the podcast. Bye, everyone. Happy holidays.